Where did my wait?
No, too late.
Too late. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the I Talk Back Sports Show. I'm joined by my favorite co-host, Jamal. Say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
This week we will discuss tons of college football news, the NFL, and playoff scenarios galore, and a little bit of NBA. Jamal, you got a shout out?
Sure, Kay. I would love to give a shout out to Antonio Brown for looking up 3 months into the season to decide that he needed to apologize for his actions. What was it? Is it too late? Is it too
Is
late?
it, is it too late to apologize?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Kate, what about you?
I just want to give a shout out to all the black business owners everywhere trying to make $1 out of 15 cents this Christmas holiday. Hey guys, keep up the work. And if y'all got some interesting things for me, because I have zero presents under the tree for Christmas. Oh, I don't even have a tree up. So hey, send me a shout out.
Wait, is that what this was? Okay. We out here soliciting Christmas ideas.
Hey,
All
I
right.
need the help. I'm not a shopper. If it's not Amazon, I don't do it. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
So today we're gonna do a read, Jamal. Okay. And I know I hadn't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about Michael Vick.
Okay.
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 Back in '07, there was a lot of things that he did, and they were wrong, Jamal. I mean, it involved animals. It involved him losing his money. It involved his family members he took care of,
Mm-hmm.
turning their back on him. It was a dark day, Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he got out of jail and he was able to get back in the NFL.
Yes, he
Oh
was.
my God, he was able to come back and he was able to redeem himself. He's also been involved in legislation against dogs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot to redeem himself and to show that he's learned his lesson.
Right.
Isn't that what America is all about? Second chances, Jamal?
Yeah, I believe America is about second chances.
Okay, so when will America give this man a second chance?
I mean, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying to me, Kate. Are
Okay.
people coming for Michael Vick?
Okay, so I just want everyone who is listening to just think of some of the things that you've done in your past that maybe you're not so proud of and that you kind of wouldn't want people to bring back up over and over and over again.
People,
Let the man live.
people are still coming for Michael Vick. I can't understand why anyone would still come for him. We are 12 years removed, right? Going on 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How interesting. Okay.
So we'll move to the news around the leagues. Florida Atlantic University is said to be finalizing an agreement to hire Willie Taggart as the new football coach. This is Taggart's fifth head coaching job. Previous stops include Western Kentucky, South Florida, Oregon, and your favorite, Florida State.
Oh, man. We're going to talk a bit more about this next week, but my initial response is good for Willie, and that it's a good move for him. So, yes.
So the next question would be, Jamal, will Florida Atlantic University allow him to get his foot or his footing under him and coach this team the way that I feel and you feel that he can?
Oh, by all means. I feel that something that Lane Kiffin, who is the departing head coach, did not leave the cupboard bare, and that I think that Willie will come in and succeed. Give him about maybe 2 years of some highly successful football, and that they will come knocking again to bring him back into one of the possible Power 5 divisions. So, what do you think?
Yes, I feel that he will do really well if he can just be there long enough to actually produce a good result. You know what I'm saying? Let him bring in some of his own recruits and coach them up and get out there and play the best ball that he can. He does need time like everyone else gets.
Absolutely agreed. Agreed. So apparently, what's been announced recently is that Major League Baseball is continuing its investigation into the alleged sign stealing scandal of the Houston Astros, and they have expanded from the 2017 season, which they didn't find anything, to the 2018 season. And the investigators apparently are combing through more than 70,000 email correspondence, telephone records from Astros personnel, as well as interviews being conducted in person. Kay, what do you think about this?
Well, they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying in baseball. And it only leads me to ask the questions, how many other clubs are doing the same thing but just haven't got caught? You know, we just would like for the Houston Astros maybe not to get caught, but oh yeah, we don't like them. But no, seriously, it just brings bigger questions to my mind as far as what are teams actually doing, or is this the way that they conduct business?
True, I do have questions about whether or not this is a league-wide situation or if it is just isolated. So I'll be very curious to see what does come out of this. I'm on the side of I don't think they're going to find much of anything, that it was an allegation made by another American League manager earlier in the season, and that it's going to boil down to just nothing. That's my thinking.
Okay. Well, we definitely will see.
Yes.
Should the NFL punish the Patriots for taping the Bengals?
I mean, you get caught doing something really, really stupid. The Bengals have won, one game this season, and you're playing them the next week. And there is plenty of tape on the team. So sitting there and actually seemingly recording the signs and the play calls, I mean, should they be punished? That's your question. Yes, for being so stupid. You have already been on record as having taped your divisional rival, the Jets, practice. You have the entire, the whole football gate. And that, yeah, for this, so stupid, so foolish, yes, you should be punished. I'm thinking 2 draft picks. What about you?
Well, it's kind of like, you were referencing, like, you got caught so many times doing something. And then the one time you really weren't trying to do whatever, is the time that, you really get caught red-handed. And they were, I don't think they were intentionally trying to cheat this time out of the last 12 times. But, and then a response by Belichick, it was like, I don't want anything to do with it, basically, as a coach, but this is your team. So you can't separate yourself from that. You don't separate yourself from the championships. Right. So don't do it now. I don't think the league will punish them for this, but in true Patriot fashions, they will mess up again. So
they will. That's true. That's true. And so lastly, the Yankees have done it again. They have just, wow. They signed the pitcher Garrett Cole to a 9-year, $324 million deal.
Yes.
Kay.
Yes.
Can you get a good apartment with this kind of money?
I think you can buy all the apartments in all the cities for this amount.
You'll be lucky to live in Park Slope up here. But okay.
I mean, it's impressive, Who doesn't want to go play for the Yankees? Who doesn't want to pitch for the Yankees and join so many illustrious players? It's kind of unfair. It's like, they're the cool kids. So,
I agree, but the cool kids haven't won a World Series in. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
yeah, that doesn't mean they're not putting together something special. I'll never count them out.
I love to count out my crosstown rivals for their wonderful spending and for coming up short to other teams that aren't named the Red Sox. I don't come after them about the Red Sox, but it is definitely amusing to me when they spend all this money for what? Nada.
Okay. So, true or false, Jamal? Should Lamar Jackson, who has a quad injury, should he sit out tomorrow in the game against the New York Jets?
I think that it is true. He should sit out that game. There is nothing to honestly be gained by this. You're on a short rest week, and that if you sit, this gives you an opportunity to rest until the following Sunday, and that you will be refreshed as opposed to possibly aggravating your injury further going into the stretch before getting to the playoffs. There's nothing to be gained by actually playing this game against the Jets. So I say yes, he should. What about you?
I agree he should sit as well. It could only get worse. Nothing good could happen out of this. You know what I'm saying? I think that RG3 is a adequate backup. You don't have to do much. You just run. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he can running back and run. Hey, however y'all do it. It can get done in the short term with a backup quarterback.
Couldn't agree with you more. This is one of those games in which this is why you have a decent backup quarterback, is to make sure that your starter can get a little rest and move forward from there. You guys are already in the playoffs. You've essentially won your division. There's nothing to be gained by him playing against the Jets. So
yes, and next week they play Cleveland, so he probably could rest 2 weeks. How about that?
3 weeks. Why not?
Why not?
So, Kay, true or false? The winner of the NFC East deserves to be in the playoffs, even if they are at 500 or have a losing record.
The rule states that they should. Do I think that my sorry ass team go to the playoffs and possibly prevent another eager team from being in the playoffs? My answer is no. False. Sorry, false.
Okay. All right.
You think?
No matter how your record looks, I feel that it's true. They deserve, if you've won your division, regardless of what happens, that you should still be in the playoffs and you should host the wild card team. So even if your record is as jacked up as the NFC East looks to be, they deserve to be in the playoffs. So sorry, I say true.
Okay. We agree. No, we disagree.
We agree to disagree?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to college football. And I don't hear any crying this year over the college playoff picks.
You know why?
Go ahead.
Everyone's glad that Alabama is out. That's why.
So I didn't get my situation where everyone had one loss and they were trying to figure out who the four were going to be. That unfortunately LSU won convincingly and Ohio State won convincingly, and unfortunately Clemson was going to win, so there wasn't a question.
Right.
But Utah lost, and so OU just walked right in the door.
Yeah.
So I'm still is it time for 8 teams though in the college football playoff or not yet?
I don't think so, unless Unless the bottom, I say 10, can really play hard and get, I guess, more competitive games throughout the year, I'll say no, because they have maybe one or two ranked teams, that they play most of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they beat them, or maybe they lose, but they still wind up in the championship games. So no.
I'm gonna go ahead and respectfully disagree. I think that there was a team like Utah who honestly did not deserve to be ranked as high as they were, and just through matriculation made their way up. But like you said, they didn't beat anyone who was ranked. Versus some of these SEC teams who did go through and beat ranked opponents, albeit in their division, and that they found themselves in some cases, for example, I would have still put Georgia in to the playoffs over Utah, even with 2 losses, because I just through the body of work, they beat Florida, they went through and won against other ranked opponents. They deserve to be in there. Versus, again, Utah beat one ranked team during the regular season that I can recall. So
Yeah, they beat USC, but that was early in the season,
right, right.
So yeah.
So also a little closer to home, the Texas Longhorns are looking to fill a couple of coordinator positions, and seems to be taking a moment. They had their eyes on your boy Joe Brady, but Joe has got himself an award for Coordinator of the Year and said, I'm staying at LSU. And Helton at USC doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So some of the better ideas for coordinators seem to be kind of dissipating. What is your thought?
I have no thoughts on this.
Okay. Would you like to bring in Charlie Strong to do the defense?
No, I would like for him to coach the team. Yeah.
Oh.
Not a runner-up.
Oh, wait. Okay. So even though he built South Florida and had a fairly talented team, but though the last 2 years just kind of, you still want him to coach?
I wouldn't expect him to come in as a defensive coordinator. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
He better than that.
That's true. He'll hopefully he'll land someplace as a defensive coordinator and or eventually work his way back to being a head coach. But I think he needs to show them exactly what he was made of in the first place. So Lane Kiffin left Florida Atlantic University, as we mentioned earlier, and he returns to the SEC in a head coaching role at Ole Miss. Over or under a 3.5-year stay?
I would like to say that if he's very successful within the first couple of years at Ole Miss and something more attractive comes along, he will leave. And I hope they know that at Ole Miss. He will leave you. This man will leave his pregnant wife for another man, for another lady.
Oh, harsh.
He'll leave for something better.
Harsh.
It's mine.
So, I'm going to put your feet to the fire here, though.
Mm-hmm.
Over or under on 3.5 years?
I can't say because it just depends on how successful he is. And I don't really think that, I don't know if 3.5, I would say, I just don't see him, under. I don't see him being there for 3.5 years.
Okay, there we go. I'm giving you an under as well. I don't see his act lasting that long either. For different reasons, I think that he will wear out his stay there at Ole Miss as opposed to finding something better. I think that Ole Miss is it's an interesting and unique situation, and from a coaching standpoint. But yeah, I don't see him staying beyond 3.
Yeah, you can't really dress that up. He's not gonna stay if no.
Yeah, no.
No.
So let's move to the NFL. And as a Cowboys fan, you can't count on the Giants to do anything that you need them to do. They blew a lead and lost to the Eagles Monday night in overtime. What do you feel about what words of encouragement do you have for the Giants?
I don't have any words of encouragement for them. They have to go through, what they have to go through. I mean, maybe they'll get them another, draft pick, first round low, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they can build on what they're supposed to do, but I really don't care about them. I only wanted them to do one thing. And that was, well, two things. Eli Manning is probably good for 2 interceptions against an NFC East team, and he didn't throw his 2 interceptions. So I just thought that they had a pretty good chance of winning the game. Couldn't even do that right. He did look good. I can't say that ball was coming out of there, and it really did look good. And it reminded me of him, when he was doing his thing early on in his career, but I guess they didn't need to do us any favors anyway. I will say that.
That's interesting that you say that. Yes, that I was walking around my job telling the Giants fans that I was counting on them to come through, go Big Blue, and then washing out my mouth with soap wash. This is that time of year where you have some strange bedfellows, excuse the expression, but. I honestly feel that, like you said, that the Giants, they need a little more work. They need to figure something out. They let a couple of weapons go, and that at some point they'll be back, eventually, at some point. And I started to ask a question, but reading the information here, Eli is going to start against the Dolphins this weekend, so I will go ahead and scratch that and ask you instead, do you think the Giants should select a quarterback in the first round of next year's draft?
No, I think that they do believe in the quarterback that they have, Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I don't think they should draft another quarterback. No.
I think Jones also should have a little more time, I think, and it's not from a standpoint of enjoying the picks that are being thrown, but just he needs a few more weapons around him. I think that he will. I think he'll do okay in the NFL. Just my thought.
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. And him in training camp wasn't a good mix, so I was very critical. But he does look good.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamal, what happened to the Rams this year?
I don't know. I don't know. I believe that they were exposed, that someone looked up and really realized that you can shut down them by putting pressure on Goff, and that he makes errant throws, that he's not making the throws that he was making last year that were really impressive, especially, I mean, this is the same Goff that had the shootout with Patrick Mahomes during the regular season, and now, I mean, they look absolutely pedestrian at times. I don't know what happened. I guess the magic wore off. I mean, it amazes me because you're talking about the Rams who went flying up and then they've gone down, and then you have the Saints who have just consistently been an offensive juggernaut. There are several teams that have been offensive juggernauts with fewer personnel moves, or with more personnel moves than the Rams, and it just, I don't have an answer. I really don't. What about you? What do you think about it?
Well, I know after that performance that they had against the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I didn't want to hear anything out of any Rams fan, because that was just pathetic. I think this season they played okay on was that Monday night against the Seahawks?
Yes, they beat the Seahawks.
They looked like they were in rare form. Mm-hmm. Everything was clicking, and they shut the Seahawks down. I mean, I don't know, they scored like 9 points or something stupid like that, but they really look good. They're gonna look great on Sunday.
No,
they're gonna look fantastic on Sunday.
No,
so we cannot count them out in the regular season, but in the postseason, it's a different story.
I don't think they're going to look great on Sunday. They haven't shown that they can actually shut down a decent offense. Even Seattle has a decent offense. The Cowboys have a better offense than Seattle does. But come on, they do.
Seattle has a great offense, and they have a great quarterback. So I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. You say so.
We will continue this later. Okay.
Yes.
So, are the Niners the team to beat in the NFC?
I think that there are numerous teams to beat in the NFC, such as the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you beat them the other day don't mean next time y'all match up, it's not going to be war, okay?
Yep.
You know, and it's always harder to beat a team the second time you play them in a season. So,
especially with a different ref crew, yep.
Yeah, because it totally depends on who's reffing the game for the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all know that. As much as I don't care for Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I think he'll have his team ready to play as well. So, no, they're not the team to beat.
Okay. I think that they are the team to beat in the NFC and that they will make things interesting in terms of the playoffs, especially in terms of their matchups, that the possibility of a rematch of the Saints and the 49ers in San Francisco would be very, very good for the NFL as well as for the NFC. Show them the strength so that when we go out and play and they lose to the Saints, it'll still be one of those, you got so close, you looked powerful. And the Saints will go on to beat the Ravens and in the Super Bowl, and then Drew Brees will retire a champion again. But along the same lines, are the Packers overrated?
I don't think the Packers are overrated. I think the Packers are still gelling as a team with all of the changes that they've endured this season. I think that the Packers remind me of the Lakers in the 2000s. Like, they coast through the regular season and then they really, put it together in the postseason. So I will be interested to see how they do these last couple of weeks of the season.
That is a great analogy. I do like that analogy. I think that's appropriate, and that it will indeed be one of those things where we see it's going to be a matchup situation, clearly, but I gotta see. I feel like the Packers so far have been playing some below their level teams. I don't know that they've really had a decent challenge recently, so... And, I mean, the games that they're playing, they're starting to play down to the level of their competition. So, but like you said, playoffs, they may turn around and turn it up and get a little wild. So we'll try again on this question in about 4 weeks when the playoffs start. So, Kay, I'd like to run through some picks if I may. I'm keeping you up late. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, at least 5 hours till I lay down. You're so correct.
Okay. So I'm going to run through this hopefully pretty quickly, and hopefully this time I'll actually do better than you this time, I feel. So let's start with the Jets at Baltimore.
I'm taking,
Really? Really? You're doing this?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Jets.
Oh!
Only because I know you're taking Baltimore.
I mean, that's no fun. But yeah, I'm taking Baltimore. I'm taking Baltimore, yeah. So
with the new information that the Patriots have over the Bengals, I am going to give the edge to the Patriots because that's one back.
I was going to give the edge to the Patriots just because it's the Bengals. I think they're angling for the first pick. So, Tampa Bay at Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit.
I'm taking the Bucks. We're going to do this all night.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so the Bears against the Packers. I'm taking the Pack.
Yeah, this one time I'm going to agree with you, the Pack as well. A big AFC South matchup, the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans.
Texans. I don't think they'll want to lose 2 in a row.
Okay, taking the Titans. So, and I have to deal with rooting for an Aggie quarterback to win. This doesn't sit well with me. The Denver Broncos are playing at the Kansas City Chiefs.
You may think that this is an easy decision, Jamal.
Very easy.
So I'm going to go against you.
What?
And I'm picking Kansas City. No, just kidding. But I feel that this will be an entertaining game, Jamal.
I think this is a blowout.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think you give Kansas City too much credit, Jamal.
I think Kansas City is done with them in the third quarter. Denver doesn't have a quarterback. I'm not.
They do have a quarterback, and that quarterback has been winning.
Okay. So, Miami at the aforementioned New York Giants.
Miami.
Miami too. Not to be hateful, but yeah, I got to take the Dolphins. So, here's a fun one. The Philadelphia Eagles are playing at Washington.
Washington.
You know, it pains me to actually agree with you on this one. I need a Redskins win as well. So I can't keep this up. Seattle's playing at Carolina.
Seattle.
I'm taking Seattle too because I don't like Carolina anymore. Huh. How dare you?
Jacksonville, Oakland. I'm going to take Oakland.
Oakland. Agreed. Cleveland and Arizona.
Arizona.
I'm taking Cleveland. Yeah, taking Cleveland. I can't wait.
Go ahead.
I can't wait for the phone calls from you on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm calling you. I usually give you your weekend to speak yourself, but let them. Okay, Minnesota and the Chargers.
Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers.
Okay, I'm going to take Minnesota.
Oh, you're just doing this on purpose. Okay.
No.
So the other team in LA is playing in Dallas again.
And there will be plenty of Rams fans. Plenty. See, people think they can punish Jerry Jones by not going to the game. It don't matter. The other team's fans will just fill up the whole space.
There are not that many Rams fans in the world.
But yeah, they just were established 2 years ago. Like the Seattle fans were established in 2007. Warriors fans were established in, 2000?
Wait, whoa. Remember, there were Warriors fans before that Mitch Richmond.
And there was a drop.
Okay,
Their fathers and grandfathers were fans.
Yes, okay.
Let's tell the whole story.
Okay. So, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Rams.
I will never pick against my Cowboys. Taking the Cowboys.
You're not thinking with a level head, okay?
I'll take that one loss.
All right, Falcons and 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers, Jamal.
49ers, K. And let's see. In a really good matchup, the Buffalo Bills will be playing at Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Who you got?
Ooh, this is going to be a good Sunday night game. Something I can actually stay awake for. Pittsburgh. They're at home.
With a third-string quarterback, right? I'm taking Buffalo.
Yeah, the same one they won with last week.
That's fine. I'm still taking Buffalo.
Okay.
And
Indianapolis and the New Orleans Saints on Monday night. Saints,
thank you.
It's not even close. Or hopefully it'll be entertaining.
It's not even close. So we were going to talk about the NBA, but we'll pick that up next week. The Mavs are doing good. They haven't even played that game in Mexico yet. Big matchup this coming Friday. Oh, since I'm on the show, I can talk about this. The Lakers are playing at the Miami Heat, so that looks to be an entertaining matchup Friday night in Miami. So we'll discuss. That'll probably be covered on the Hurry Up next Monday.
On the Hurry Up, yes. I since I wake up so early and prepare myself for the show.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Which almost didn't get recorded till noon last week. But hey, that's not the question.
Okay. No one's here to judge. Okay. So
Okay, and there's still a 20-point lead in the Clippers versus the Raptors game. The Raptors are down.
but hey, Kawhi got to go back to Toronto to get his ring.
His ring, yeah.
Yeah.
He's showing his talents.
Yes,
In case
all
you forgot.
his talents, just in case y'all forgot. Exactly. All right, so Kay, it's been a great show. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with me on this Wednesday evening.
You're welcome, Jamal.
Thank you, ma'am. So, everyone, wish you well. Find us on the social medias. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and you can listen to this podcast on various platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and, of course, our wonderful platform is Spreaker. So, from Kay, this has been hopefully a good show. And we will talk to you all later. Listen for the Hurry Up Friday morning. And till then, bye.
Bye.